flick turns, great for a rapid change of direction to keep your flow, or simply just a bit of fun. Here's how with the legend, Chris Akrigg. Chris, flick turns, obviously a key skill to have to enable you to maintain flow uphill or to get over a tight spot.
Yeah, it's just another one to have in your, you know, like trip bag or whatever. If you're coming up to a sharp corner and obviously like you're looking like you could normally just like, you know, trail your front wheel around. If you can't do that, as it like there might be like, you know, obstructions or just, you know, sheer space, you know, restrictions, you can obviously just come in, pop your bike round, you know, 90 degrees, whatever it may be, and then poodle off.
90 degrees. I'll be happy to do 20 degrees. Let's have a look how to do it. Right, so here's a typical scenario. I need to go left, but, oh, crikey, I'm restricted by that stone there. So how the hell do I line myself up to be able to tackle those slabs?
Flick turn.
Right. Let's call in on the man himself to show us how to do it. Chris, I'm restricted in how I'm able to get up this bank, and I really do want to get up that bank, so what do I do?
So basically, where you want to get to achieve this, because obviously if you're coming in on this, there's no way you're going to corner this with just a traditional style of riding.
Because I've got that.
So you've got that rock there obstructing your line on your left, and that's obstructing your line on your right. So where you need to be is here. This is where you need to start your riding line from. So you've got a nice square, good angle of attack.
So I guess the question is, how do you get to that place in the quickest time possible?
Steve, it's a flick turn.
So here's a question for you. There's flick turns, and there's also power turns. There's a difference between the two, right?
Yeah.
I mean, could you do a power turn here? I guess you could, but then your pedals and everything's going to be in the wrong place because there's a steep bank, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's the tricky thing. Obviously, like, you know, from a riding point of view, you've got to pull on years of experience, and straight away you're going to be coming into this. And if you know how to do both, you'd pick that. But obviously, from a learning point of view, I'd say a flick turn is a lot more controllable. Yeah. And especially for, like, you know, for a beginner, I think a flick turn, you're going to be able to turn and you're going to be able to keep everything under control and then set off when you're good and ready. And
it's more of a stop and go technique rather than a sort of a dynamic movement, isn't it?
Yeah, it's something you can sort of like chip away at as well. You don't need to do it in one big movement. Whereas a power turn or power wheelie turn, you're going to have to commit. As soon as you take off, as soon as you land, you're going to have to be in the exact right place, and that is a pretty skilled move. Okay, let's have a look. Let's break it down then.
Let's break it down into gear and mode. Let's break it down into speed and also the body movements required to get that bike sideways in the turn. Yep. So, Chris, first of all, approach speed. I guess.
Obviously,
slow,
like
steady away, right?
Yeah, you're going to be coming into it with the mindset that you're doing a climb anyway. So ideally, you'd have already wanted to, you know, set your mode and your gearing, which is generally pretty low. Yeah. For this sort of thing, I'd probably use, again, probably trail mode, but maybe boost. You know, a lot of people would probably go to boost.
So I guess it depends on what lies ahead. If you've got a flat environment ahead, you can be in sort of eco or trail mode, whereas if you've got a serious climb, then you'd obviously be in boost. But my question is, do you do the flick turn in the high power, or do you go into a low power, do the turn and then go into boost?
It's a good question, because obviously this particular setup, you're coming in and it is quite a shallow gradient, and then it does, you know, pitch up quite a lot. So if you did want to add that in the mix, which you are, you know, you're complicating an already, if you're learning it for the first time, an already quite complicated move. So I'd say stick with one setting for the whole thing, and then at least you can, you know, you can do it from that point, work your fundamentals, and then obviously you can add onto it as you get better at it.
Cool. Right, gearing then.
Yeah.
Easy or hard or in the middle?
I go I'd say pretty light for this. You know, you want to have a pretty good feel for it. It is quite, this particular hill, it's very dusty today and very slippy. Yeah. So, yeah, light to sort of medium, I'd say.
Right, okay. First or second or third gear then. Going to be in trail mode. Let's go through what's involved in this movement. Right, okay, so it seems to me like you're lifting the front and moving the back at the same time.
Yeah, you're sort of like almost like a rocking horse movement.
So you lift in the front, moving the back.
Yep, like that.
Right.
Like that. Using a right little bit of kick.
Right, on the pedal.
Yeah.
Okay, so from what I've gathered there from Chris, it's lifting the front and moving the back.
You're sort of using like a rocking horse motion.
Okay, lifting the front and moving the back. That's a little bit stiffer than Chris. Oh, bloody hell.
There you go.
Did you see that? Did you actually see that?
I saw a bit.
Okay, that
so
was actually...
So for a flick turn, don't, so what you're doing there, you're almost doing like a bunny hop. Right. So like a flick turn, when you're coming in, you want to be sort of, like almost like a rocking horse movement.
Okay, move the dog's bloody stick. So...
That was good though.
So,
it's all about timing. So you're compressing, and as you're coming up, you just give you get a little kick on your pedals, and just work it round. Yeah, that's it.
That's kind of it. Right, there you go.
I'd say, Steve, stop a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
So you're not. So you come into here, stop, and because you're putting your wheel on them rocks, and all you're doing then, you're just making it a little bit more tricky for yourself.
So I need to come into here.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Show me where I need to be in my front wheel.
Yeah, that's perfect. Perfect. Yeah.
There.
Yeah. Well, you can go a bit further if you want your front wheel on a rock. Yeah, there somewhere, and then you can really, then your line's there.
Okay, so I'm facing the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Guys, give me a second while. Right.
It's not timed. Yeah, that's it. Look at that roost.
So I'm feeling awkward about it. It's just practice, right?
Absolutely. Same with anything you do on a bike. It's all about practice.
So talk me through the actual body movements. Well, I mean, you make it seem so light and effortless. I'm making a bit of a heavy deal about it.
So we're coming in, nice and controlled, nice steady halt. And then all we're doing is compressing our suspension like that.
So how much body movement is required then?
It's almost like you're twisting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you need to sort of like anything, you need to like preload that twist.
I don't think it seems to me you don't even need to look. You just need to it's like you don't need to look.
I guess it's in your hips a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
So as soon as you're unweighting the bike, you're pulling it round.
Yeah, okay.
So,
You're using your back foot at all as well?
Well, I mean, it's there. Probably more than I think. But, so that's what it is. So you're compressing your suspension, and as you're coming up, as it's sort of, your suspension's sort of letting off, almost like you're taking off, that's when you need to be kicking and putting a bit of twist on your body. Like that.
What he doesn't mention is he's actually digging a rut while he's doing it.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I was actually playing over there, but yes.
Did you see it? I did one. I think I did one then. I think I did a flick turn then. I think I went like 40 degrees.
That's pretty good.
I'm pretty happy.
Unfortunately, I was looking the other way, so I'll have to see it again. What you're trying to do is like negate any technique and just try to sort of bully it.
I'm trying to force it.
Force it, so you're not really using technique.
Yeah.
So you've got to sort of like really concentrate on the technique.
Okay, I'm gonna
so when it goes light, when you come off your suspension,
I'm gonna reel it back a bit, haven't I?
That's it, yeah. It's nice and calm. That's it.
So I need to work on I've not been doing the pushing before. I've just been thinking, oh, let's just wrench it around.
So you've got, it's a timing thing. So you've got your compression as you're coming up, you're putting a twist into it, you're kicking your pedals as your suspensions is coming up.
Yeah.
So as you're lifting and the suspension, you know, obviously when you're just taking off, that's all happening at the same time. You're kicking it and it's just turning.
Right, let's see you do it a few more times. Okay, Chris, that's great. Just to summarise, a light gear, medium mode, and it's simply about working on the very fine technique, you know, compressing the suspension, moving your hips.
Yep.
That's all it is, because I tried to do it and I'm trying to be a bit heavy-handed about it.
Yeah, it's very much the timing.
Yeah, it's just timing, isn't it?
Yep.
So there you go, folks. Yet again, Chris proves that an e-mountain bike can be agile if you use the right techniques. Chris, thanks for showing us that.
Thanks a lot.
I'm certainly going to go away and work on my technique bit by bit, because it's invaluable for an e-mountain bike to keep your flow up a hill, or actually, as I said in the beginning, it's just a bit of fun, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
It's another one in the arsenal.
Exactly.